Easy to carry light? Not so sure. I think elsewhere they describe this as compact? I don't know about that one either. But anyway, well, Wuben has been around for 10 years, and they come up with some unique designed lights, this one notwithstanding. And they seem to be pretty popular, at least based on the amount of views that my Wuben videos get. This is the brand new Wuben X1 Pro. Wuben sent it to me to check out, and the first thing that you're going to notice when you pick it up, as I kind of alluded to, is how big and heavy it is. This thing is 13.5 ounces with the batteries installed, which close to a pound. And for something that gets marketed as an everyday carry flashlight, I think that needs some honest context. I think there is some reason behind the size and weight that I'll get into, but the point being, this isn't a light for the faint of heart carry size types. Faint of heart size carry types, the faint of, if you are reticent to carry a big light, maybe not the light for you. How's that? The Wuben X1 Pro is a flat format, high output light from Wuben, runs on two 21700 batteries, has a detachable fan built for active cooling. It tops out at a whopping 12,300 lumens. It also has a nice easy 3-position switch for selecting the mode. And it's priced at a not very cheap, but potentially reasonable for what you get, $139.99, or we'll call it $140. In the box, you of course get the light, the instruction manual. It comes with a lanyard/charging cable, and this is an interesting design because it works as a lanyard, which goes into the light right here. Or if you just clip this out, it comes to a USB to USB-C charging cable that you can use to both charge the light or charge other things, as I'll show you. And when you're done with that, you just tuck it back into the holder and it is locked in there. Also comes with a belt clip case because the light does not have any kind of pocket clip on it. This belt clip case has a clip for your belt here, and then undo this little Velcro tab. The light slides down in here, and then re-lock it in there with that Velcro. And it's solid, it's not going anywhere. And then when you want to get it out, undo the Velcro, and you pull the light right out. Looking at the construction of the light, it has an aluminum alloy body, IP65 rated, so it's dust tight, and although it's not submersible, rain and splashing will be fine. And then looking around it, on the back here is where the batteries go. You get to them by pushing this open right here. That pops open, and in there are the two 21700 batteries with 4800 milliamp hours each, giving you a total of 9600 milliamp hours powered to this light. Close that, make sure you get them in the right spot. You close that, and then you will definitely want to lock it here, because if you don't, it's super easy to pop open accidentally. Going down the front here, or this side of it, there are two little holes here that you can use to put a mount here. You screw this in here, and then you can put this on either a tripod or bike handlebars. And then forward of that right here is the cooling fan that actually comes out if you need to clean it or replace it, I guess. On the other side is the mode selector switch for flood, both, or spot. On this side is the single button that controls all the different modes, the brightnesses. Forward of that is the charging port covered by a little rubber piece here that helps with the water rating. And then the fan sucks in air here and spits it out over on the other side. Up in the front here with the two different LED setups, there's the single one here, XHP 50.3, dedicated for the spot. And over here, the 4-beam setup, XHP 50.3 HD LEDs for the flood. Color temperature on it is 6500 Kelvin. CRI is 70. It's not high CRI, but color accuracy is not what this light is for. It's built around raw output. Up in the front here, the 3-position switch gives you spot, both, or flood. In the spot mode, you get 35,532 candela pushed out to 377 meters or 412 yards. In the flood, it covers a very broad area at 8,650 lumens, and both together is where you hit that full turbo of 12,300 lumens. Now, it says it's rated for 412 yards, but that's an ANSI rating, and that means that at 412 yards, you get the equivalent of moonlight on the object you're looking at. So if you're looking at something 4 football fields away, moonlight, you're not gonna be able to see it. But as much as that's the case, and that's that way with any light, it still does have a really bright, good throwy beam. The turbo in both at 12,300 lumens will run for about a minute. And really the turbo in each of the three modes runs for about a minute before the thermal regulation kicks in and it cools it down. And this light, there's a significant difference between the high and the turbo. Some lights that I have, the high to turbo is not really worth it, not that much of a difference. This one, there is a significant difference between the two. And that's why you're gonna get a much longer runtime at the lower modes. Well, the turbo is crazy bright unless you're doing search work or things like that. For most real world use, the lower outputs, even on low, is going to be plenty, and you get a ton of runtime with it because you've got 9,600 milliamp hours inside here. The fan is one of the more unusual features here. It runs at 3 watts and it's temperature controlled so that when the body starts to heat up, the fan kicks on automatically, and when it cools down, it stops. You can also trigger it by clicking the side button 5 times, and it will run for 5 minutes before it turns off. When I put it on to turbo, the fan turns on after 20 to 30 seconds it comes on because the head does get pretty warm, but also the body, having held it for a while, the body actually stays fairly cool. The fan module is detachable and Wuben says it's replaceable, which I guess is useful and matters if you're running this thing hard over a long service life, but for regular use, ideally probably shouldn't be a big deal. My take is that the fan adds complexity, it adds weight, and it's a moving part that can potentially fail. But at 12,300 lumens, passive cooling alone isn't going to maintain the output. And without the active cooling, the step down would be much more aggressive than it already is at 1 minute. So it's solving a real problem. It's just solving it in a way that's a little less conventional than other lights that just have kind of heat sinks sticking off the side of the light. The UI has some depth to it, so I think it's worth covering. I'll throw up a reference on the side here so you can check out the different buttons, but just going over it quickly, it is all done with the side button here. Single click turns the light on and off. When it's on, you hold it and that cycles through the different modes, eco, low, medium, and high. When you release it, it will lock in your brightness. Double click from any mode will get you to turbo. Double click again gets you back to where you started. Triple click gets you the strobe. Triple click again gets you SOS. 1 click gets you back to where you are. When the light is off, 4 clicks will get you in lockout, signaled by the flash here. 4 clicks again to unlock, and it comes back on into eco. When it's off, 5 clicks will turn on the fan. Not super loud, but it's something that you'll be able to hear when it comes on. And then 5 clicks again, and it will turn off. And then there's a battery indicator on the button here. So when you turn it on, it will light up. Solid blue means it's above 90%. Solid red means it's 90 down to 40. Flashing blue, 40 to 15, and flashing red is below 15%. The light can also charge other devices through the USB-C cable, and it will charge them at 15 watts. And since this has potentially up to 9,600 milliamp hours in it, this can charge your phone, like my Pixel XL Pro, which has about a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. It can charge your phone roughly twice. Mostly my phone, when I charge it, it just needs topped off. So if you are, say, using this on your handlebars as a bike light and you're using your phone for GPS and needs topped off, you can top it off with this light. And the way it works is you plug the USB-C cable into the USB-C port here, and it recognizes that it needs to do reverse charging with power going out the other way. The light itself does charge at a rate of 30 watts, and Wuben rates the full charge taking about 75 minutes with the included batteries. Now, back to the thing I mentioned up front, 383 grams with the batteries, 13.5 ounces. This is not a light you're going to clip on a front pocket and not notice. Although it's large, it's actually pretty comfortable to hold, and I think that's because the edges here are angled, so it kind of fits the natural curve of your hand. But it is still a big light to hold. In a work bag, a jacket pocket, cargo pants, or mounted on the handlebars of your light if it doesn't pull your bike over. Kidding. That weight is probably more tolerable, but clipped on your waistband in this as part of a daily carry, it's probably not going to be one of those lights that you're just going to forget is there, like you do with some other lights that you stick in your pocket and they initially feel them, but then eventually as the day goes on, you forget they're there. This is a big, heavy light. Now, reasons for that weight, I think it's somewhat justifiable because it does have 2 big 21700 batteries in it. It has that cooling fan, it has a large aluminum body, but the net result is going to be a light that is maybe a little bit more home as a specialized tool as opposed to a true pocket EDC. But to that end, I think this is probably not a light you're going to be carrying as a true pocket EDC, despite how it might be marketed. It's a high output tool built for bike mounts and search applications and anyone who needs sustained lumens over extended periods of time, because especially those lower outputs, you get a ton of runtime out of them because of that huge battery capacity. At $140 with a replaceable battery, an active cooling system, and a built-in reverse charging option, dual beam setup, I think that value is potentially real. The fan is unconventional, but it's solving a real thermal problem at this output level. If the weight is something that fits with your carry situation and you need this level of output, this is a serious light at I think a reasonably fair price. But if you're looking for something to clip on your pocket and forget about, you might keep looking. Links in the description. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. And if this video was useful, you know what to do, and I'll see you in the next one.